Hello, welcome back to Football United TV. Thank you so much, everybody, for subscribing and tuning in recently. We had a great vlog yesterday with Kendall, Sav, Charlie, and Ingal from TV on the Arsenal versus Newcastle FA Cup third round tie. But we're here today to talk about, well, maybe not for Man United, but actually maybe at the moment because of the result from yesterday, a big FA Cup tie for Watford and Man United. Third round. What are we saying, guys? What do you make of this tie? How are Watford doing in the Championship, and what do you think going into this game? Do you think it could propel you to make sure you get into the Premier League next season? Let's start with you, Pidge.
Well, I don't usually. I hate the word free game and going in there and just having a bit of freedom. But to be honest, I'm treating it as that now because we can play a few fringe players, see how they're doing, or Isco will look at it and say, right, let's try and play a near to strength side and really implement his ideas into the team because obviously he's only 2 games in so far, and it's been really hit and miss, to be honest. We've seen signs of improvement, signs of intent, but we need to really. Daniel probably elaborate on this anyway, because we need to see a bit more, throughout the game rather than first 20 minutes or the last 20 minutes. So, to be honest, I'm not going to be too fussed if we get turned over on this. Hopefully we don't, and we put a good account of ourselves. The main thing for our point of view, if we do lose this game, because obviously going to United, massive club, we're not expected to win this game. Just come out with a decent performance and try and throw everything at it. And, as supporters, that's all we really ask for. The minimum is just to show a bit of fight there and give it a good go.
Yeah, spot on. I think this season it's the first game of the season. I think we're the underdogs, like every game, because we've just come down from the Prem. I think we've been the favourites in every game. Even in Norwich game, I think we might have just edged it. So it's the first time the press is completely off us this season. So we've got nothing to fear. And again, if we've got to remember, there's no replays now, so it's a one-off game, and anything can happen in a one-off game. But I'm not expected to win. I'll be a mug to say we're going to win. There will be changes, I think, for both teams as well. I think probably won't see Bruno Fernandes playing. You probably see the likes of Jesse Lingard come in, Dean Henderson playing. Igalo might play. So it's going to be interesting. But as long as we put up a good performance, if we got knocked out, we want to get promoted. It's as simple as that. So we'll see.
I absolutely was very disrespectful. I didn't even introduce everybody that was on the panel. So let's do that now. Indiana representing Man United. Bitz and Bobz in the house representing Man United. The Pidge and Daniel representing Watford. So look, Indiana, how you doing? You're cool, by the way.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you guys.
And you, mate. And you.
You too.
So going on, reflecting on what they've just said, Indiana, what do you make of that? Do you think you agree with what they're saying there?
Yeah, as a one-off game, it's anyone's really. Like, I can't see, for where Man United are, I can't see us playing a strong squad. It's just not going to happen. Like, we're joint top at the table. We can't afford to play a strong squad. We just can't. We can't afford to pick up injuries. I was looking at Watford's loss, win, loss, draw, win. So the odds say that you're going to lose the game, but I wouldn't guarantee Man United winning it. I wouldn't. Over 2 legs, I would pretty much say, yeah, we would do it. But the FA Cup, that's the beauty of the FA Cup, really. Like, that's why we love it. But I expect Man United to get the win. I expect it to be a tough game, though. It's going to be no walk for Man United. Like, it will be a tough game. It will be a tough game. And if I wouldn't even be surprised if we lost it. That's where I am with it, because I know what our priority is, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lost the game. Because I can already see the side we're putting out. I can already see it in my mind, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a tough game.
Do you agree with that, Bitz and Bob? Like, it is going to be a tough game, isn't it? Seeing as we lost yesterday. Sorry to have to say that, Bitz and Bob's, mate. I'm Indiana knows how I feel about that. I'm hurting. I'm hurting about that. But like, what do you make of this going into it? Do you think it's important, seeing as Man United have got Liverpool as the next game. We need some sort of composure, don't we, in this game?
Yeah, I think I agree with, I was listening to the gentleman's prior to coming on. I agree with everyone. I think I'm actually quite glad the fans can't go, because I think this is going to be a poor quality of game. Because I think the reason I say that, because I think Watford's intentions will be to come back into the Premier League. I think this is just a 90 minutes. You just hope no one gets injured, really, isn't it? Give people game time. And I think for Man United, it's pretty much the same. I mean, well, I'd like to think that, because we can't afford to have our big players get injured. And I'm not going to say it's a meaningless game. I'm just going to say in a less important game. And however, you know, it's funny, isn't it, football? Fringe players, you get a game of football and then, you know, it can spark something. You know, you can give a manager a headache or something. I'm just hoping that I think quality-wise we should win. Okay, I think we're all football men here. We should win, but you know, going on both clubs' form, it could be a bit of a myth. I think we need to just. I think Man United just need to be professional about this. Beat Watford, go home. Just get the job done. You know, probably try and blitz Watford in the first half an hour, and then try and keep ball. I think I'm down as well, mate. I'm not going to lie. You know, I've said on Fozz's channel, I was just like, I'm not angry. And I really think it's a massive, massive opportunity missed. However, Man United, you lose, you know, they come back with a reaction. So let's hope, you know, we get a reaction. Would I be disappointed if we lose? Yes and no, because it's a trophy. And but then I'd think if we go to playing just Europa League and the league, I actually wouldn't mind that. So, because I know we've got depth, yeah. I was having a conversation with someone today. When I look at Man United, I just think, yes, we've got depth, but is it quality depth? Do we have, past the first 12, 13 good players, do we have anyone that's going to be like, wow? And like, I'm expecting, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm expecting Watford's players to put on these fringe players.
Yeah.
You know? Do you know what I mean? Because I'll tell you this now, lads. If I'm playing for Watford and I think I'm going to play and I've got flipping Lingard, I'm going to kick him. I'm going to be like, what? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say, though? Like, mentality-wise, like, I can beat you. I can get the better of you today. And if I get the better of you today, it gives my team a chance of winning. So that's what I'm worried about, to be honest.
Even touched on that. Even when we was playing each other in the Prem, it was always a close game. It was never... Man United never played Watford, and they never tore us apart. It was always a close game. You know, we beat you obviously last season. We beat you a couple of seasons prior to that. So it was always a close game. It's never been a game where Man United found it easy against Watford. It was always a tough game. And
100%.
And really, we've only lost from last season. We've only lost sort of Capoue now, Decore. We've still got Sarr, who tore you a new one that game. You know, we've still got Foster in goal. So we've still got Premiership quality players, but as Pidge will probably agree with me, they haven't been performing regularly at all this season, and it means nothing. If you've got the quality, but you're not putting the effort, it means absolutely nothing. So
why do you think you've not been performing this season? Is it just the whole yo-yo going down, you know, and then like your players probably thinking we shouldn't be here, but you are?
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say?
It's a mix with them because at the end of the day, we're relegated because them players got us relegated. So they need to put their ideas up, sort themselves out, and get us back up to where we should be. You know, the manager thing is not helped at all. You know, if it's just something wasn't right there, the football was so negative. Yeah, I mean, as Watford fans, I think we just want promotion, but the football was just it was diabolical. It really was. Cycle passing, we weren't attacking. We've got so much flair going forward. You know, Sarr, Deeney, and Semo has been brilliant this season. We've just got that. He wasn't coaching them players, it seemed, to play to their full potential. But now, obviously, the new guys come in. First game, brilliant against Norwich, fantastic. Then it all went to pot against Swansea. So it's we just need to just. I think we need to strengthen. We're not going to get. I can tell you this now. We will not get promoted with Troy Deeney and Andrew Gay as strikers. We just won't.
What is the thing with Troy Deeney? Sorry, Matt. I just wanted to ask a Watford fan this.
Please.
Why is Troy Deeney doing up radio?
Well, we'll let Danny answer first.
Okay,
You
no,
sure?
I was going to say because he's already planned what he's doing after football, so he's getting a step ahead. But it's I don't know. But at the end of the day, if he can do all his radio or whatever, but as long as he performs on the pitch, I don't care. And to be fair, when he's been playing, he has been performing okay. Swansea, but as a team that wasn't good. So if he can, if Troy Deeney scores 10, 15 goals this season, he can keep doing his radio work as long as the captain gets promoted.
It's similar to Andre Gray, though, Dan, to be fair, isn't it? You know, sorry, mate, sorry to cut you. It's similar to Andre Gray as well. You know, the COVID rules and all that sort of stuff. You know, if he wasn't prancing about doing whatever he wants outside of football and he was scoring 20, 30 goals for us, no one really give care, really. Okay, with the COVID thing aside, but, you know, these players, like he said, if he, you know, he's looking after his career. We're not too happy with the Sun thing because a lot of history with the Sun and Watford. I mean, obviously there's more with Liverpool, but we don't like the Sun as well. The talk sport thing I don't really care about. And like Danny said, if he's scoring 20 odd goals and helping us promotion, leading the team that we know we can do, no one really cares anyway. It's like, well, fair play to him. But we take heart of seasons before, you know, when near the time when we got promoted 7 or 8 years ago, when we were 2-0 up at City, and only because they brought on all their big star players, Aguero's and stuff like that, they actually beat us because we were 2-0 up at one stage. So
we were 2-0 half time. I'm pretty sure we were 2-0 half time, if I remember rightly. I'm sure
that's it. I think it was. So I know it's years ago, but you know, we take heart in that sort of performance. But you know, like Danny said, I completely agree with Danny. You know, the main push for us is promotion, and we need to strengthen. And too many players the last 2 years have underperformed, and you know, Gray being one of them, and a lot of them are still living on. I've bumped into a lot of Watford fans when I'm working at the hospital in Watford, and a lot of them are saying that they agree that we're still living on our 3-0 Liverpool win at home. Since then, we've not been the same side, and I think a lot of them are still doing that. And Danny's absolutely right. I mean, as a team, we need to, as a club, we need to strengthen in the January, like every team that needs to, if we're going to get promoted.
This is part of the problem. Since the first lockdown last March, there's been more lockdowns than Andre Gray has scored league goals. He scored 1 league goal in a year. There's been 3 lockdowns. That just shows the kind of it's mad, isn't it? Shows the kind of attitude that Andre has. He's with that girl from Little Mix. All he puts on Instagram is I'm loving my baby, but he never puts hardly anything about Watford. He doesn't. And when he's playing, he doesn't put any effort in because we know he can score goals. He did it for Brentford and Burnley. We know he's a phenomenal champion player, but it's something that he's not. It seems like he's just because of the ex-Luton connection. He's like sabotaging Watford to get promoted. It's ridiculous.
Do you, both as Watford fans, do you remember? There's some big feedback coming back from you, man. Can you hear that, guys? It's crazy.
Is it me? I can't hear enough. I can't hear the feedback, but it never usually was. That's why I use the phone.
Yeah. I was going to say, what did you make of the fact that you went down, and do you think that this was a learning curve for Watford, you know, and the fact that you sacked a lot of people from your backboard and sort of, I think maybe coaches and people that were sort of involved in the managing of the squad. Is this a good thing for Watford? Do you think bouncing back you'll do something different this time?
Danny, do you want to answer it, or shall I first?
Yeah, well, I can remember the season we got to the cup final. You know, brilliant season. I think everyone agree. There was a fans forum in the middle of that season, and our chief executive / chairman Duxbury, he said we want to be the best of the rest. A year later, we're in the championship. Down to poor recruitment, chopping and changing managers, players wanting to relax whilst at training, a number of things. But I think Pidge will probably agree with me. The main thing is the recruitment's just been shambolic from top to bottom. Managers, staff, players, it's all been shambolic, and that's the reason why we're in championship, and that's the reason why we're not looking like getting promoted at the moment because of the recruitment. It's just been pathetic.
Yeah, that's the first thing. We had like every team that gets relegated, you always have loads of people say excuses, but firstly, Danny's actually spotted recruitment's been absolutely shocking. We needed to strengthen after we got to the FA Cup final. We lost our way a bit in the last sort of 10, 11 games as well. We sort of put that a little bit on the cup final, so they didn't want to get injured and stuff. And we said, look, we'll regroup next season, strengthen. We didn't strengthen enough. Like Danny said, the recruitment was useless. The players, I think, a lot to do with the FA Cup final money. I think bonuses and stuff were mucked about. There were a lot of players down-tooled, and it was just a disastrous season, completely different to the season before, where we had a settled coach. You know, the team were playing well. They wanted to play for the badge. All that sort of stuff that you say with most teams, and it did. We looked more together. FA Cup final, totally deserved, and then just something just didn't click. And yeah, it was a case of, you know, we pushed the panic button too much on managers, and they just didn't want to play for him. And ultimately, like Danny said, you know, we had the fans forum where we promised all these things. We were looking at it going, oh wow, you know, we're really going to kick on here. And it looked at one stage we were, and it just didn't come to fruition. And like Danny said, this is the end product of really poor recruitment and probably a season and a half of really bad decision making.
Would you agree with this? Would you agree with this comment, Indiana, or looking at it from the other side of the perspective? Man United walk all over us. Best thing that can happen in our club, have a COVID outbreak. We are basically playing like it at the moment. Would you agree with that?
Who does he support? Who does Greg support? Is he a Watford fan?
Please tell us. I think so. Yeah. Because he said
it seems like it. It seems like by his comment, it seems like he's a Watford fan.
Yeah.
I think
this game is for the taking, though. Like
exactly,
this game is for the taking. Trust me, I'll be very, very surprised if Man United put out their first team. I will actually be shocked.
I've just seen the comment from Greg. He thinks Man United always finds it straightforward against Watford. I mean, I'm sorry, but
I disagree with that.
We
that.
beat Man United last season. Like I said, the stats are there. Every time we play Man United, it's always been a close game. Always.
It's always been a close game. Even when we struggled under Walter, we played you guys and we lost 2-0. And most of that game, apart from two decent chances that you guys, and you fully deserved to win that game, it was a tight game. It always is.
Yeah.
Do you expect Watford to play for that first team?
Do you know what the game is going to be like? Yeah. It's like the community shield. If you lose it, it's like, well. Do you know what I mean? It's fine. It's just the game. If you win it, you're through to the next round. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I personally think we're both in the same boat. We're both in the same boat. If we win it, great. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. We're both in the same boat.
Yeah. Just don't get injured.
Do you not think they should change it up? And this is me going left here, right? But I just don't see the point of putting the big teams or the Premier League teams on the third round. Do you know, I think you should, and this might sound a bit biased, but, you know, make it a bit fairer, you know? Because I'm just thinking,
you're looking at when we made the FA Cup final and even Wimbledon back in the 80s, it was almost more important than winning the league in a lot of senses because the whole world watched it. It was a massive thing. You know, teams played their big sides out from the very first go, the very first off, and it was the main attraction. I mean, now, you know, it's all to do with the money. It's the money in the Premier League and all the football. You know, it's the priorities drop down. So, like you said, you know, your glamour of that sort of big tie that we've got, you know, on at the weekend. So, 20 years ago would have really meant something. Now, with a lot of teams, and even some of our fans, you look at it, and we've said this, we just don't want injuries. If we play a few fringe players, and so be it, because we're aiming for that money pot in the Premier League. Like say 20, 30 years ago, that could have been totally different. You say, look, let's get a decent cup run, let's get a bit of confidence up. That hopefully should push us through to promotion. But to be honest, we're not. We need to sort out our form in the league before the cup. So to be honest, as long as I come away, no injuries, a good performance to kick us on in the league, that's the least I expect from Watford.
What do you think as Watford fans looking at the Man United Man City game yesterday and the fact that we lost 2-0?
I was watching it, you know, because I love football. So, you know, I watched the Brentford Tottenham game the other night. I watched the game yesterday, like first minute to last. And I watched all the Man United fan interviews, you know, like United standing out. I watch all them, just see what their things are. And they were actually saying that Man United were terrible. I don't think that it was that bad. I just think Man City's class shown in the end, to be honest. I think that was a difference. Man City's depth and they're class. I think that was the only difference. You know, De Bruyne is just on another.
There's
planet.
a lot of United fans that don't see past that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a neutral, and Man United, I think if they had a bit more quality, they probably could have got something out of the game. But I think, like I said,
Agreed.
Man City's quality, it just shone in the end, I think.
Danny, mate, I'm sorry. I mean, we sometimes bash Steely, but whoever put he's a poor man's Akinfenwa is obviously a Wickham fan. I mean, sorry, he don't score 30 goals a season anymore. But Jesus Christ, I mean, Akinfenwa was a big lump that it does cause defensive problems. But I'd rather have Deeney than Akinfenwa. I'm sorry.
Deeney's a lot better at attacking students in Birmingham. Please, somebody block this idiot. He's an idiot, Greg Wilson. Somebody block him. What an idiot.
Danny, what manager do you want in? I think we should get Hasselbank or the Cowleys.
A lot of Watford fans were looking at speaking about the Cowley brothers, but I don't know. I know they did well at Lincoln, and then he went to Huddersfield, and he got sacked from Huddersfield. So is he actually that good manager? Who knows? But
would you not take a gamble on Eddie Howe?
Eddie Howe was my. As soon as Ivic got sacked, he was my first choice. 100% my first choice. Eddie Howe. He's a pretty. Yeah, he's
I was going to say that.
Yeah, he used to watch Watford when he was younger. Like he's from Hertfordshire, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so Eddie Howe would be perfect. But I think due to the Bournemouth connection, would he want to come? I don't know. But again, Eddie Howe would be brilliant. He'd be
money never get rid of Pearson. To be honest, Pearson and Shakespeare should have stayed. It was absolutely disgraceful we got rid of them.
If we had Pearson this season, hindsight, but if we had Pearson this season, I think it would be top tier. I think, but again,
100%. Yeah,
hindsight, who knows?
There's not a lot of Man United talk going on here, Indiana and Bitz and Bobz.
Putting them to shame.
Do you know what it is? It's just refreshing to talk to Watford fans. Very refreshing just to hear different outset on a different opinion on your football club, because obviously we're all Man United fans. You know how it is. Ollie in, Ollie out, blah blah blah, ratatata. It's just refreshing to hear about another club. You know.
No, it is.
I think. Do you know what, Man United wise, right? I think. See the game, yeah. As your man said, we're all football men, right? And do you know what I was more disappointed in? We just didn't look interested, and it was like if some of our players looked tired, which is fine. It happens, especially around this season. I just think to myself, if you know their energy levels, we've got equivalent, people to come in. Even if you played Donny van de Beek for an hour or whatever, hindsight's a good thing. I get that. I'm just like, did we even really want to win that game? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because the way we played, it looked like it wasn't. And I tell you what, I'm going to chuck this in here. Ruben Diaz, right? People were saying, what's he doing, getting at him and stuff. And don't get me wrong, Pep does. Managers get signings wrong, they get signings right. But he's coming good, and you can't help but you see the thing about City. I don't hate them because I actually appreciate them, because I think it's another team that's going to challenge us, blah blah blah, and we're going to have to challenge. But you can't hate Pep Guardiola because when they play football, man, I don't care if
there's something else, isn't there? When they play football, they're on a different planet to anyone.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like one man has made that all happen and possible. And I think when you saw Diaz, I was thinking, this might sound controversial, but since Kompany, I think he's the best one they've got. Okay, we can say Laporte, but I just mean as a presence.
Do you know what it is?
John Stones has stepped up massively.
But do you not think that's because of Diaz, though? This is what
I think it's a combination.
Someone good, yeah. It's good for
It's
England
a combination of having that balance. Having
you need that presence
Fernandinho back in CDM. I call him the conductor because he runs City. When they play football, he runs City. Massive loss last season, putting him in centre back. For me, I think they probably would have been closer to Liverpool with him back in midfield.
He's one of them players that if you take him out that side, City would not have won the Premier League. He's that kind of player.
Yeah.
And it's similar to Jordan Henderson with Liverpool. We'll go back to the Watford Liverpool game. Jordan Henderson didn't play. We slapped him 3-0. Okay, Jordan Henderson might have played, but there was no leaders on that pitch. That's probably why we got at Liverpool. And Yeah, I think all the games Liverpool won, I'm pretty sure Jordan Henderson was missing in majority of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's the main reason why Liverpool won the league and probably why they're going to win the league again this season. Players like that don't get appreciated the way they should do because they just do all the donkey work
That's it.
that don't get respected.
100%. And do you know what? Like, look, you know, it's funny, isn't it? Like, we talk about Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno and stuff, but I think of, well, I'm 31, so I think of Real Madrid, Makelele, Zidane, Figo and all them. I think about when...
Do you remember Guti as well? Guti,
yeah, do you know what I mean? And, like, those players, like, let's talk about Premier League. See, do you remember Mourinho's first Chelsea team? You had Essien, Manish, Holden, even though Essien was box-to-box, which allowed Frank Lampard to go into the thing. Those players won't get the flowers, won't get the highlights or the applause. It'll be the goal scorers, the flair players. But if you ask those flair players, they wouldn't be able to do their job if they didn't have, you know, these boys. And the reason I say that is because when I was full-time at football, I played centre mid, and it wasn't holding at the time. It was just, I just played deep. Do you know what I mean? So it was never like a DM or anything like that. And it just meant the other boys didn't have to track back as much because they knew I was there. And it worked. Do you know what I mean? And like, I just think that if you watch football, you can see why Fernandinho, Rodri, Henderson, and so on make all these other players tick. And it's just interesting where I don't know why most clubs try and analyze that position to try and get the best out of their flair players, you know? And you need a spine. I don't care what anyone says. You need strong centre back, strong centre mid, and a centre forward. And did you notice yesterday's game? Martial didn't want anything to do with Diaz last night.
Diaz had him in his pocket. Diaz had him in his pocket.
No, Martial's not a natural striker. I don't care
I'm gonna shoot, guys. I'm going to shoot, but thank you ever so much. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honour coming on your show, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pidge.
Before you go or anything, or
what's that?
Shout out your social medias, mate. Let everyone know where you.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you want to put up with any more of me, just go on to TaylorMade Army TV or TaylorMade Army Forum Watford Fans channel if you're a Watford fan. We do our show every Friday and Sunday at 8 o'clock till 8:30, and yeah, brilliant. But like Football United, this is absolutely amazing. So thank you very much, guys.
Pidge, what's the prediction of the score?
Right, I think my head probably says about 2-3-0 tops United, but I hope for us to get a goal and a decent performance. So probably 3-1, 2-1, 3-1 will be, you know, I think you'll beat us still though.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you so much for coming on.
All the best, Pidge.
Cheers, guys. Take care and stay safe as well.
All the best, mate.
Yeah.
You're the only Watford fan here now.
I'm the last one.
Sorry, mate. We don't bite. Don't worry about it, mate.
Yeah, that's all right.
Where was we at before that happened? Where were we at?
I was just saying that Martial's not a natural striker. I don't care what anybody says. His movement's not good enough. He's not instinctive enough. Rashford's not a striker. He's not. He's a wide player. We know that. Yesterday, the biggest problem for me was there was no fight. I don't care about quality. Let's be honest. Like we were talking earlier about the Watford Man United games. The quality in individuals was massive. Like the difference was massive between Man United and Watford in terms of quality. But Watford never let up. It was all about fight. It was all about unity, working for each other. When I see Rashford and Fred watch a loose ball between them and stand on their heels and look at each other, I know the game's done. And that's just where Man United are. That is where we are. There's a huge problem with leadership and desire in that side. Like Harry Maguire's the captain. I didn't see enough leadership from him yesterday. And that is the problem. That's just where Man United are right now. There was a time when every single player on that pitch was a leader. That's not the case anymore. So this is why I'm saying Watford can take this game. Because we could play our fringe players. It's not going to make a difference. You could win this game just from consistency of playing together or desire. That's why this game's not a given for me. Not at all. I wouldn't be surprised. Would it really surprise me if we lost this game 2-0 or 2-1? No, not at all.
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised. Do you know what I mean, Bobz? It's not going to be a shocker,
do you
is it?
think? Do you think,
No.
as United fans, you're missing an out-and-out number 9?
We've got one. We just don't play him.
Cavani.
Well, yeah, Cavani we can't play, but I think we're missing. Midfielders, intelligent footballers with a high IQ in the middle who do the simple things. That 5-yard pass. Do you know what I mean?
The Michael Carrick's.
Can I say Ndidi?
Yeah.
Can I say Ndidi? Is that all right?
Great shot.
But
if you want, you can.
Well,
you can also forget about him because Leicester ain't going to sell him. So
yeah, exactly.
Money talks, though. Money talks.
True thought. True story.
I'd pay 70, 80 million for him. Would you?
I think we need to be realistic, and they shagged us for 85 million for Maguire, right? And I'm not really up for giving them 60, 70 plus more. So I think we need to be smart. We need to be shrewd and look at that position. However, look at that position in the Premier League. Now, if you're telling me Tottenham can buy Højbjerg for 15 million, come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, Ndidi's like 23.
That's made me angry. The Højbjerg signing made me angry. Like,
listen, me and Stroh tweeted it when they signed him, and I didn't know Stroh as well then that I do now, and I tweeted at the same time, and like we were speaking about it, and like I was actually quite annoyed. I was just like, that's a steal. Do you know? That's a steal, you know? And I think I've said Basuma because I just think if we can target the lesser big clubs, right, in those positions, because Basuma always plays well every game. You know, he's never really a bad game. And I just think Man United, he'll be thinking big club. We could probably, you know, convince him. I just think in those positions, there's only a few players you can realistically get. Because Man United come for a player, 20 plus million gets put on. Do you know what I mean?
Have we seen enough of him, though?
Danny.
Basuma.
Yeah.
Premier League proven.
Can I just say, big up to Big Gunner for coming in, Arsenal fan. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
I live in a dream. I'm living a dream, mate.
Yeah, you bet you are, mate. Three wins in a row. I just wanted to say this to Danny, mate, because I don't know if you can see this in the comments, mate. You're getting
I know, he's
you know him.
I have no clue who he is. Don't know him.
Absolute arsehole.
I feel like he stole his wife in a present life or something.
I mean, if I'm not a real Watford fan, then I don't know who he is, to be honest.
I mean, what's the dispute? I don't understand it.
He's calling me. Apparently, I'm not a real Watford fan, all sorts. So I don't bother me, to be honest.
We mentioned Guti and stuff.
Because he said I've never seen Guti play. Like I've never seen Messi play. I've never seen Ramos play. You know what I mean?
I've seen they play, but you know, shit. I know.
You know what I mean?
But
it's
okay
because you don't have to
Troy
watch a
Deeney
player
play,
live. You don't have to watch a player live to know how good he is. I'm never seen Messi live, but I'm pretty sure millions of people have never seen Messi live. But Jesus Christ, get a grip.
So Danny, talk about Watford as well. Like, can you tell us the background of how you got involved with supporting Watford and the fact that you're quite well in there, aren't you? With like knowing the players when they come in. And
obviously, all my dad's side of the family, they're all born and bred Watford. Dad was born in Watford General Hospital next to the ground. My nan was, my auntie was, all of them, all born in Watford. And obviously, I'm Watford fan because of my dad, basically. Hadn't seen tickets since for 21 years. I hadn't seen it. Obviously, I haven't been able to go for obvious reasons last season and a half. But if this COVID wasn't happening, I'd still have seen tickets. So so I know get on with the players quite well. It's just for the pure reason that I go to every game and you always speak to players because just speak to. Obviously, I speak to Troy quite a lot. Speak to a few of the academy lads. You just get to know them because we are a small club, so. Everyone as a Watford fan, you always know Watford fans that know Watford fans. That makes sense. You always know people in Watford. Obviously, I've never lived in Watford, but you know, I know Watford like the back of my hand. So Watford, my club. It's
It's like Fabrizio Romano when I interviewed him. I was like, "You support Watford, don't you?" And he was like, "Yeah." Like,
there's always really like. I always get asked like, "Oh, you live in Northampton, why for Watford?" But all my dad's side of the family all from Watford. He moved to Northampton due to work or his dad's work or something. Met my mum and then brought me up to support Watford. So I didn't have a choice. So Watford's my club. It always will be my club, no matter what. I don't have to live in Watford to support them. Do you know what I mean? So
no, of course not. Big Gunner.
Let's go down.
What are you making of this FA Cup tie? I know you've got an FA Cup tie with Newcastle, and we'll ask you about that maybe. But
That's a 2 win, isn't
it? Who's home tomorrow? You two.
It's United again, but we was home against Man City, so it doesn't really matter.
I mean, that's different kettle of fish, though. Man City. I can see Watford. I think Bobz was saying it the other day. I think if you get those first couple challenges in, and it's not United's strongest team, then Watford have every chance of winning that match. Then it depends on what Watford are going to do, because we see quite a few Championship teams not taking the FA Cup serious, which is a bit crazy when you think about it. It's the FA Cup, might be the only time you get to play at Wembley. Why not take it serious? Do you still get a Europa League spot for winning?
Money, that's why.
Yeah,
they've halved the money. They've halved the money this year as well. Obviously because of COVID, so the prize money's gone down quite a bit. So maybe teams are not that interested in doing it anymore. But I don't know, that Saar last season, that was it against Man United that he just had that amazing Liverpool game, yeah. So if he's playing, anything could happen. If Jesse Lingard's going to be on the pitch, anything could happen. It just depends on what Man United turn up, to be honest. If they turn up to win,
it will be. I'll be surprised if Jesse Lingard plays it all. It's like,
because I think they're talking about him leaving, though, isn't it? So
so they might give him it'll be stupid to cup tie him, but I suppose he needs
or him pick up an injury.
Shot window, innit?
Don't want to Phil Jones him either. Like you can't have him picking up an injury and then not be able to move him on if he wants to go. But it will be like the Van der Beeks, Twanzibis, and players like that.
Who's going to play at front? Because Cavani's still suspended. So who's going to play at front? Will it be Martial?
Greenwood
probably.
and Dan James.
I'd love to see
Greenwood's got to get a game
Against his old team.
I hope he plays a Gallo.
One more game, come on.
Could you imagine that? No, but could you imagine that for a Gallo on a personal level to come back to Watford from Man United? I know we're not Sentiment FC, but
good shot though. There's a good shot.
Nice touch, man.
Do you know what?
Because he's leaving.
I spoke about previously about Watford needing strengthening. I'll take Ollie and Gallo in an absolute heartbeat. I would at Watford. Oh, I really would. Because he'd
do well.
Brilliant.
He'd do really well for you in the Championship.
Do you want to hear a fun fact about Agallo? Me and him share the same birthday.
Yeah, you have the same birthday.
We have the same birthday, 16th of June. We both have the same birthday. So every when he was at Watford, I always used to message him happy birthday. He always used to message me happy birthday. It's just weird how it is. But yeah, carry on. Yeah.
He's rich though, isn't he?
Yeah, and also, Agallo, one more thing. When my pap died a few years ago, one of my good Watford female friends was going out with him. Well, not going out with him, but just sort of caught in sort of thing. And when the day after my pap died, I got a phone call and it was Ollie and Agallo ringing me. I was like wishing me his condolences and that. And then the away game after, he got me free tickets. We played Bournemouth away and he got me free tickets. So I've got a lot to thank Agallo. He helped me through a tough time, to be honest, a few years ago. So
yeah, mate.
Man.
On that great Bobz in the Man United shirt, but the way that he played for us and did as best as he could. He's big now. In Africa, the Man United shirt's being sold from where he's from. You know what I mean? It's massive.
Yeah, 100%. And do you know what? I hate that I'm saying this, but Man United are a business club now, and the Gallo thing, commercial-wise, that would have made them loads of money. In Nigeria, he's a big influence, big character. They're not stupid. It's like when James Rodriguez was bought by Real Madrid. They knew the player they were getting, of course, but to hack into the Colombian market, South American market. It's a business. It's sad to say.
It's like I read in the week that 80% of South Korean population is a Tottenham Hotspur fan.
There you go.
That is because of Yeoman that says all. And you look at Leicester City, the Thailand owners. I think probably 95% of Thailand people support Leicester just because of the connection.
Yeah,
it's in when Man United had like probably Dwight York, all of Trinidad and Tobago were following. I mean, Man United were a sport club anyway, but all these clubs that come from countries that are not that popular in English football, they get so much attention, and it only benefits the clubs when you get players like that for merchandise and stuff.
The thing is, though, with Regala, he's actually not rubbish at football, is he? Like, he's actually half
really
decent.
Intelligent.
He got quite a few goals for you guys, didn't he?
Yeah. If you look at his highlights for Watford, the amount of he's so silky, like he do all these scoops, and we used to just in awe of watching him because he was really, like you said, he's not a bad footballer. He's a really good footballer, really intelligent. Like he's not that he tried to. He's a team player, so he'll always try and look for his team. Sometimes he can be greedy, but as a striker, I want my striker to be greedy sometimes.
He's just sort of in the sort of player, isn't he, Danny? Do you know what I mean?
He's a fox in the box. I think the season we got promoted, I think he scored 22, 23 goals, something like that, and only one of them was outside the box. He was always in the right place at the right time, and that's, as a striker, that's all you can ask for. Just be there and put the ball in the back of the net.
Danny, can I interrupt? Just Greg Wilson, do you want to come on the stream and try and have a chat with us, like face to face? I'd love to hear you come on and hear your opinions, because you're always welcome, mate. And look, like your chats are appreciated, but you should come.
Who he is.
Yeah, you really are going to call somebody out like that. Bobz looks like
call me out, then have the decency to show your face. If not, jog on.
Exactly. Bitz and Bobz, you've been called out here as well.
You know what? Yeah,
Charlotte's cheeky. She's bad.
Do you know
She's
what?
bad for business, man.
I've got loads of love for Charlotte, so do you know what? I'm going to take this because it swings and roundabouts right now, and she's been waiting to get at me, so I'm going to take it. I've got love for the girl. She's cool. She's a Chelsea fan. I was on to her when Chelsea went through a bad. Well, they're still going through a bad patch. So yeah, I'm gonna take it. Look, if you can give it, you have to be able to take it. So.
But I don't understand what you're taking, Bobz. What are you taking? They're like
it's me and her. I've got this little banter thing. So she was waiting. She was just waiting.
I don't know why there's banter. If you're Chelsea Football Club, you're behind Man United. Don't be talking to me about Bruno when you got Havertz. Don't be talking about Martial when you got Tiny. Like, I don't want to hear it. Get above us in the league or get into a semi-final yourselves, and then I'm happy to take the banter. That's where I am with Chelsea right now. And that is directed at Prime. If you're watching it back, that's directed at you.
So, I mean, like, are you all wrapped up on this game now? Like, is there not much else to talk about? I mean,
I think. Do you know what? I think we can only just hope for no injuries, like we said earlier, and we're never gonna. I just hope it's not like when we played in the FA Cup last season. Was it Norwich we played last season where it was just like eyes were bleeding? I hope Donny van de Beek plays 90 minutes. Put it that way.
I think he will.
Someone said that he doesn't mind sitting on the bench. He's not physically fit enough, and I don't believe that for a second. I think he's.
We don't want Man United to sit on the bench.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry, carry on.
No, I just feel like he's proven, like he's Champions League. He's played in Champions League. He's proven the quality he has. Whether it's an Ole signing, that's another question. Does he fit the system? Because I know people have mentioned that he did play sort of in the double pivot at Ajax in the early years, but Ajax double pivot and Manchester United double pivot in the Premiership is two completely different things. So when I see Fred and I see Scotty, I think when they're both playing at the top, like they're hitting their ceiling, you're getting 8s out of 10s, every week, and that's what keeps you solid. And then you got Bruno, who just let him just do what he's got to do. And is there any space for him then? Because you've got to have Rashford's, Martial. I really like Martial, but is he doing enough for you guys at the moment? I'm not sure.
No.
Then Cavani, Greenwood. So there's just not much space for him at the moment. So I can't imagine him actually being happy and saying, "Okay, I'm going to buy my time."
But my thing is, make the manager pick you.
But what can he do though? Because he came on for 3 minutes though, didn't he? Like if you're giving someone,
if he's ready to play though, if it's a case of you're ready to play, then show the manager in training. Like that's what.
Yeah, but
like
we said,
you got that. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's about balance.
Like we don't know, innit? Like he could be having a stinker in training every week, like you say. Like he could just be having a stinker, so he doesn't even deserve to get any game time. But I just feel like if you're bringing someone on for 3 minutes at the end of a game, that's just like that's a bit of a muggins, to be honest.
Do you know what those kind of minutes are? 3 minutes is when shut up, Prime. 3 minutes is what you give to a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old. You know what I mean?
You don't spend 30 mil or whatever it was on him and then give him three minutes, man. That's just like
it's an insult, isn't it? Getting 3 minutes when the game's lost, and give 3 minutes, bit of an insult, isn't it?
I just don't know. I hope he does well, because you don't like in the Premiership. You want all the top teams to have very good players. You want to see all the sort of technical players. Anybody that grew up watching football like 10, 15, 20 years ago, everybody knows about Ajax and the way they play football. So we love to see those players come over. So you don't want to, like, when it's all the other teams, we can laugh at them when they sign players for like Arsenal and they sign players for 70, 80 million and they're flopped. But there are some players that you watch and then you want them to do well. So you just want them to have that time. So I hope he does get 90 minutes tomorrow just to show us what he could do. Because in his first game, didn't he get a goal? Like when you lot were losing, he scored, didn't he?
Well,
and he keeps scoring for Holland as well. Like when he plays for Holland, he keeps scoring. So
what's happening in training for him at Carrington? You know what I mean? So.
But like, I just think it's a system thing, innit? Like he probably didn't sign him, and it's just a system thing.
I do think if we got a better player on the ball.
Sorry, Indiana. Before you speak, Greg Wilson, come on. You need to come on and speak your word.
Come on, we're waiting for you, mate. Come on.
Waiting. Sorry, Indiana. Carry on.
No, I was just saying that I wonder whether if we had better players on the ball in the defensive midfield role, we would see more of Donny. Just because he likes it, he likes the ball to feet.
Yeah, because McFred and that played flipping. Yeah.
Yeah, they always play in the low percentage pass. Not very well most of the time, but I don't know whether that's part of it. Whether
I think as well, if you had Ndidi or Basuma as one of your players in there, I think Brandon B gets in the team because you've got someone with natural legs.
You play Donny beside him.
Natural legs. Yeah, and you can play him beside him, but I think Fred and Matone they just complement each other because neither one of them is sort of that top tier. So
good enough to do it on their own.
So you've got to play both of them. Like you can't leave either of them out at the moment. Anyway, you can't play Matic in there, so they both have to play at the moment. So if you do get someone better in that position, I think like you say, someone that's going to give him the ball, you're going to see a lot more of him. But you know,
we can only trust. We see more of these other players. That's the thing. We all know we need this. Our board's not much different to Arsenal's. Let's be honest. They're not going to get
now football. The way football has changed, these teams they can't afford it anymore. Like when we used to play, when Man United and Arsenal used to play, you know, they used to be able to pick up like youngsters. Like you guys won the league playing your youth team. Like, you know, you was able to do it. Now you can't do it. If someone comes in and they're not performing, you either have to play him or you don't play him just to prove a point. And I think that's what we're saying with Pogba. I think it's just a point proving that if you're not playing well, then we're not going to play you. But then he's coming on and playing well and still not playing. So it's just weird. It's just, I think football's just gone a bit weird. And somewhere along the line, it has something to do with money in it. Like, people have got these little funny little bonuses that if they play a certain amount of games that teams
it's all to do with money.
It's just all to do with money. That's literally why we're probably not playing Ozil. He's probably got some ridiculous bonus that if he stays for how many years, plays how many games, you give him an extra £2 million. So this is like, all right, cool, you're not going to play.
He's one assist away from that extra 10
million. Yeah, so it's just all money now, isn't it? And I think that's probably where football's just gone a bit crazy. But like I say, I hope Donny gets games and hope he proves to us all that.
He's a top player. I'm sure he's going to get games. That's the thing. Like, why would you not want to play a top player unless it was a system problem or the player himself?
Or attitude,
you don't feel he's hit targets that you've set for him in training, whether it be a fitness thing or strength and conditioning, whatever it may be. There must be a reason why you're not playing him. There must be. It's not a personal agenda, because if it's a personal thing, you're not even putting him on the pitch. This whole personal agenda thing is bollocks. You're not even putting him in the squad. You make up rumors and say, you tell the club that he's not getting along with you. If you're the manager, you make up rumors that he's not well or he's injured to the media. You don't put him in the squad. So there is a reason why he's not playing. We just don't know what that is. And I'm baffled as well, man. I want to know why.
Danny, would you agree with all that? Looking for what perspective? What do you make of it all?
Yeah, I think. I mean, as a neutral, I think Arsenal, they've definitely underachieved the last few years. So has Man United. They're both underachieved massively. Both clubs should be challenging for the title, and they haven't. Obviously, I'm not the one to say why, but there's obviously a reason, and it's probably due to the fact that the recruitment has not been that good. I can only guess. Choice of managers. Maybe they stuck with Wenger too long. United struggled to replace Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's a mixture thing. But, I mean, hopefully, if Man United can challenge this season, I think it'll be good for football because Man United, they're the biggest club in the world. Not even close. I mean, probably Real Madrid are close, but biggest club in the world. Arsenal, one of the big teams in the world. But, I mean, it's just good for football. It's not this... We can all sit here and laugh that Arsenal was struggling, but it's...
Not good, is it?
Growing up as a football fan, Arsenal have always been winning trophies and they've always been challenging for the Premier League and FA Cup and stuff. And the Premier League, especially, they haven't been doing it, and it's not nice to see as a neutral, to be honest, Keogh, because I'm a Watford fan, yes, but I'm a football fan. I want to see nice football. I want to see good matches. I want to see just everything in football what you want to see. So.
I think that's also the other thing that you brought up about Ferguson and Wenger. You can't replace those two people anyway. So it's like, I think as fans, we need to be less attached in the sense that we're getting emotional over why people like believing that we're still up there. Sometimes you've got to just take a step back. Liverpool went 30 years without winning a league title. That is the biggest circle ever. Like that's just crazy that one of the most successful teams didn't win the league for 30 years. So things like that can happen. I just think sometimes we need to just take a step back. Okay, it's not Wenger years, it's not Ferguson years. We just have to just ride with what's going on until we find the right formula. And obviously it took Liverpool 30 years to find the right formula. We hope both teams don't go 30 years of trying to look for that formula. As I said earlier, I want Ole to win the league. Like I actually want him to win the league because I think people have they've just gone Ole out for whatever. He just doesn't look like a manager, innit? I think that's what it is. He doesn't look like.
Oh no! If he was from South America and his name was Ole Chino, people would love him.
That's it. He doesn't look like a Manchester United manager, and that's it. That's literally what. That's it. Yeah, that's literally what they're basing it on.
You see what you want to see. That's it, isn't it? That's the way it is. Listen, I got a dip. I got to go. But
Indiana, before you go, chat your socials and find out what you think the score will be before you end up.
The score should be a 3-1. I think that's going to happen. A 3-1 United. Wouldn't surprise me if we lost. So my Twitter's right there. First XI_TV. You can catch me on the Football Terrace. On this show quite a lot, dotting around other streams, and on the First XI YouTube channel. Come and check that out, people.
Thank you, Indiana. Thank you so much, mate. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you, mate. Danny, share out your socials, and thank you so much.
Well, I'm only on Instagram, so my Instagram's let me just double check. It's Danny WFC, and I think it's Danny with 2 Y's. Yeah, Danny WFC, so 2 Y's in that, and yeah, Facebook, just my name. So yeah, good to see you. I'll catch you later, guys.
Not the mask guy in like ION, isn't it?
Yeah, just ION on my Facebook. Just DAMMY space ION, and my Instagram's Danny WFC with 2 Y's.
Bitz and Bobz, mate, in the house, mate. Woo! My guy.
Yeah. At Bitz and Bobz _, that's my Twitter handle right there. Instagram as well. Subscribe to the Football United channel. And yeah, man, if you want to hear a Scottish accent, come over to my channel, Bitz and Bobz on YouTube, where we talk about everything: football, mental health, racism, everything relevant at the moment. Yeah. But Matt, thanks for it's been a minute since I came on, man. So now it was good. Thanks very much for having me, man.
Big Gunner, what you saying, mate?
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. Please, everybody, like and subscribe to Matt. Genuine, real guy, man. I really respect him. Love what he's doing. Also, please follow my agent, Bitz and Bobz. Like, he's handling all my paperwork at the moment. So please like and subscribe to him. And yeah, I'm just Big Gunner on YouTube, but the Away Day Show on Instagram and Twitter.
And just before we go, I'm not going to hold him out. Stephen.
I'm so sorry. If you sent it earlier, I would have jumped on. But
I did about 20 minutes ago, mate. I'm sorry about that, mate. Look, Stephen, before we finish up, what is the prediction of the score going to be?
I don't think. I think Watford could pose a threat, and it's like I just said earlier in the stream. You got, I think Sarr's a decent player. I think Shalabar's a decent player. They can cause problems if United aren't careful. So, and with probably maybe United looking on other plans such as the league itself. Yeah, I'd still say United would probably edge it, but I'd say about a 2-1 win for United, to be honest.
I've got lad Prime's coming as well, but it isn't Prime, it's Kai.
Yeah, what's he doing with Kai's picture?
Kai or Prime? Who is it? Prime.
He's changed it.
It's me.
Prime, what's the score going to be? We are going to end up now. You came in late, but if you want to do a live vlog in about 2 minutes, we can just do another one. There you go. What's the score going to be, Prime?
Yeah, man.
I thought this was your game in hand. You lose this game 2-1. 2-1 Watford.
Matt, you know what he's doing?
Go on, Morgan.
Matt, I know what he's doing. Don't entertain it. He's trying to draw me out. There's a reason I haven't really spoke to him as much today. He knows why. So don't let him draw you out. Don't let him draw you out.
I'm gonna end it now. Stephen and Prime, tell us where they can find you, and then Prime, we're gonna get this sorted out.
Yeah, well, you can find us on Feetly TV. It's there. Right, plus Ozil's out. Yes. Yeah, but you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, if anyone wants. But I'm live. My next show is live at 5 p.m., which is an Arsenal Newcastle watch along. And though it's for Arsenal fans, anyone's welcome. Anyone's welcome to jump on at any time. So,
Prime, my lad, what are you saying? Where can we find you before we find you again in 2 minutes when I go live again with you?
Basically, follow me on Twitter because I'm on so much. So that's basically where you can find me. I'm on the terrace.
God doesn't sleep, man.
I'm on the terrace. I just did a podcast with. I just did a podcast that will be out tomorrow. I'm on the wrap up show on Bitz and Bobz channel. Yeah, everywhere, I guess.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please do subscribe, share. Thank you for Danny, Bitz and Bobz, Prime, Stephen, Big Gunner, Indiana, and Pidge for coming in as well. Much appreciation for you Watford fans coming in as well for this. You know what I mean? People are not really giving too much about lower league teams, and football's a discussion all over the world about any team. So if you support Shanghai FC, call in. We'll talk about it. Educate me. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Just say one thing as well is that I think with this current crisis, the way it's going as well, it's more important than ever to recognise the lower league formulas, right, and the lower league sides as well, because they're going through a massive hardship at the minute. So big up to them as well. So,
but that's very true. That's very true, Stephen. That's very
was that
true.
fun?
That's very true because the way the league's going, Chelsea and Arsenal could be playing lower league soon enough. So
I like the way Prime is now putting Chelsea in there. 2 weeks ago, it was just all Arsenal, but
yeah, he was giving it all. He was giving it all to me on my channel. Like it was all. Like it was all. He was giving it all to me on my channel, watching every time watch along he give about it. But no.
If you want to come on in the next 10 minutes or whatever, I might do another live and we'll just talk football if you want to talk. But
I'm happy for that.
Everybody, thank you very much and
take it easy.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. How do I do this?